Hello everyone and welcome back to Bacon. Also welcome back to Cinderella phenomenon Evermore. We're starting off strong, everybody. Alright, continuing on with Rod's route in chapter 5. We have a decision. He is caring, he is a good dancer, he is hardworking. And I was told that yes, there is technically a correct answer, but the last time I had 3 options that there were cute scenes for each. So I'm tempted to go through all 3, to be absolutely honest. I feel like I missed out on those other 2, but it's been so long at this point that I don't want to go back and force people to sit through that. If you want to see it for yourself, go feel free to play the game yourself. It's only $9.99 on Steam right now, and it goes on sale like half the time, so. Alright, we're going to start with he is caring. He is an extremely thoughtful person and spares no effort in making me feel comfortable. The women nod, looking thoughtful. As it should be. A man who doesn't treasure you isn't worth your time. You tell her, sister. For once, I agree with you people. Indeed. And by you people, I mean noble women. It sounds as if you two have a bright future ahead of you. Yes, I am looking forward to it. I part ways with the women. In my search for Rod, I draw closer to the throne where Father sits. Some emotion I do not understand flickers across his face as he beckons me forward. Ophelia sits beside Father, a soft smile on her face. You wanted to see me? Indeed, I believe a speech is in order. Oh no, you're not gonna make me do a speech. My heart hitches. Father, I'd rather not. And I do not blame her. This is a speech you'll want to hear, Lucette. Oh, so she's not giving it, her father is. Father holds up a hand, a signal that causes the musicians to stop playing. The quiet settles quickly. My father clears his throat. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for being here tonight. We've had much to celebrate during these peaceful years, but tonight we are here to celebrate someone who is very special to me. Tonight we are here to celebrate my daughter. I fight the urge to duck behind the throne as Father gestures me forward. Girl! I take a deep breath as I move to stand beside him. It has been 2 years since my daughter, Lucette Riella Breton, became the Tenebran bearer. She has already accomplished much in these 2 years. It is because of her we know this current peace. Tonight, we celebrate her hard work. There is more applause. I fight to keep my expression calm as my heart flutters. But it is not just nerves sitting in the pit of my stomach. There is also warmth, pride. Father holds up a hand, quieting the chamber. But that is not the only reason we celebrate tonight. My father only offers a soft, knowing smile before gesturing into the crowd. As if on some silent cue, the crowds part, revealing Rod, who approaches the throne quietly. Rod? His name is a whisper on my lips. The room is so silent I can hear Rod take a deep breath. Princess Lucette. Despite the calmness of his expression, his voice is shaky. Ah! I love you with all my heart, Lucette. Aw. The words proclaimed so confidently in front of so many people caused tears to form in my eyes. My biggest wish is to spend the rest of my days with you, to give you everything you could ever want. Is this a surprise? He was going to give her a big ol' I love you speech? And I hope with all my heart that you will give me that honor. And then I got a cat who wanted to weigh in on the situation herself. Rod pulls a small box out of his pocket and my heart skips a beat when he kneels in front of me. I was distracted by cat and didn't realize it turned into a CG with a ring. Eee! Vaguely, I am aware of gasps and whispers from the crowd, but the sound of my own nervous heartbeat is loudest. Rod opens the box, revealing a ring with a beautiful golden stone in the center. This is Princess Lucette Riella Breton, daughter of King Gennaro Breton III. Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife? Despite my best efforts, tears slide down my cheek as I smile. It would be my honor. As Rod stands to slide the ring onto my finger, I am so filled with joy I feel buoyant. I throw my arms around him and bury my face into the crook of his neck as the audience cheers. I barely hear the sound. My focus is on Rod's hands, resting on the small of my back. I love you, Rod. I love you too, Lucette. A toast for my daughter and her fiancé. The music starts again, the triumphant notes filling the ballroom. I am relieved when, slowly but surely, the crowd's eyes fall away from us. I pull away from Rod as my father steps forward. Before I can react, he pulls me into a tight embrace. Congratulations, Lucette. I am shocked to see tears shimmering in his eyes. My father chuckles softly at my expression of wonder. Even us hardened old men can be sentimental. Oh, so cute. I'll have you know he's been teary-eyed for days. My father gives Ophelia a look and she smiles back, her own eyes glossy with tears. The sight makes my heart full. How long have you both known about this? For a while. Rod had to ask me for permission for your hand after all. There was much pondering over when to make the official announcement. I thought the ball might be a good opportunity. Ophelia is ever the thoughtful planner. It was a good idea, I admit, even if doing that in front of all those people was terrifying. Look at his little blushy face again. Rod rubs the back of his neck, cheeks flushed. Thank the gods I don't have to do something like that again. Oh, ruler requires addressing crowds quite often. Rod groans. Prefer to take this one step at a time, very, very slowly. Well then, it is a good thing we were both very patient. I'm still sad that Rod didn't get all dressed up too. How come the guys don't get to wear cool clothes? Rod beams at me. He points over my shoulder. I do not realize why until someone grabs me from behind and pulls me into a tight hug. Gee, I wonder who it could be. Congratulations, Lucette. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations, little Sebby. I pull away with a laugh. Emmeline is practically bouncing on her heels with Sebby perched on her shoulder. Thank you, Emmeline. Sebby. I know that, okay, so Waltz is my favorite. He's the one that I'm looking forward to the most, and he's considered the quote-unquote canonist of them all. But this might be weird, this is just kind of my opinion. It almost feels like, because Chev definitely doesn't feel like in any way canon at all to me. He feels like a completely different alternate universe that should not exist. But Rod's almost feels like, it feels canon in a different way. Like, if none of, Waltz feels more triumphant in that she won a huge war, so to speak. She won over her mother, etc., etc. And then Rod's feels more like if life had been normal, so to speak. I don't know how to explain it correctly. It just kind of feels like Rod's, obviously Rod's is the most peaceful and the calmest, but it also feels just sort of like if things didn't go crazy, then Rod would be canon. And then when things do go crazy, then Waltz is canon. Like, they're so completely opposite, I feel like they're their own canon routes, if that makes sense. I mean, technically, you're supposed to be able to choose any one of them. And you know that I love Karma, for instance, or, well, Claude. But it's hard to explain. Because even though Waltz feels, say, like, the most canon, Rod feels almost canon in the opposite way. I don't know what I'm trying to explain. But it feels almost as canon as, say, Waltz, but in a different way is what I'm trying to say. Again, even though technically you can choose any of the guys, and if they're your canon guy for you, then that's what should be considered canon. I'm just saying, like, based on how the creators did things by accident. I don't know what I'm saying. Moving on. Phew. I'm glad I made it in time to see that proposal. I told you I'd come back for you, Sebby. So that surprise you both mentioned. Emmeline laughs. It was so hard to keep this secret. The day Rod showed me the ring in the throne room and you came in, I thought so. I thought so. She shakes her head. I even think I said something along the lines of, is she hiding a ring? I was so nervous I was going to give it away. So that thing you were hiding behind your back was the ring? Rod smiles. Emmeline was so nervous she took it out of the room with her. She almost ruined the surprise. But I didn't. Barely. And only because I wasn't willing to tease you about it. Sebby coughs. So now that the secret's out of the bag, are you going to start taking me places again, Rod? He misses you, baby. Maybe. Maybe. I'm the one who fixed things between you, you know? Don't worry, Sebby. You can come spend the days with me if you like. Sebby sighs. You're not going back to Viorica's anytime soon, are you? Because my cheeks still hurt. The music in the ballroom changes, going from a soft melody to a lively waltz. I recognize it immediately. Rod's eyes light up. I know this song. It's for a Brigantian waltz. His eyes are glimmering when he turns to me. May I have this dance, Lucette? He looks so hopeful, so excited. It has been a long time since he looked so carefree. Aww. I grasp his hand with a grin. Of course. Rod pulls me gently toward the ballroom floor, and the two of us effortlessly fall into the dance routine he taught me. For a time, the two of us are lost in each other's movements. I let Rod lead me through twirl after twirl and match each of his movements perfectly. Rod grins. You've really improved. Improved? If you were to challenge me right now, I would win. Oh? His fingers settle on my hips as His fingers settle on my hips. I stumble at the abrupt movement, nearly falling into his chest as he laughs. I would challenge you right now, but I wouldn't want to embarrass you in front of everyone. Oh, they're so sassy to each other. I stomp my foot down close to his instep. Rod steps away with a smirk. Next time we're in here alone, I will challenge you, and I will win. Rod laughs. That's it. That's the spirit I fell in love with. Rod pulls me into another underarm twirl. I glance around during the turn and notice Prince Lance and Emmeline dancing not too far from us. Oh dear. Rod sees me looking, raises an eyebrow. You never did tell me how your talk with Prince Lance went. Rod shrugs. It was fine. That is all you have to say? Well, I only really wanted to make sure he was serious about courting my sister. And? He said he was, as expected. As far as I'm concerned, I didn't need to ask him anything else. I know Prince Lance, and I trust him to treat Emmeline courteously, versus, say, Claude. The music picks up in tempo and our conversation dwindles as we again focus on our dancing. Later, Rod and I make our rounds around the throne room, accepting congratulations from everyone. The last people we see that night are the tavern goers who offer us the most heartfelt well wishes. Time passes swiftly, and before we know it, the clock strikes midnight. Okay, I'm going to save there. And I'm going to go back. I didn't see any indicator. So we're actually going to go back to making sure it's loading, yeah. And we're going to choose, he is a good dancer, he is hardworking. I don't think there's going to be like a big difference like there was before when you could like have different scenes for stuff. So I don't know if I want to do dancer or hardworking. He is a good dancer, could be sentimental and heartfelt. He is a hard worker. I would also be... Saying he's a dancer, though, even though that means something to them, may not mean anything to these ladies, though. And he would definitely appreciate hardworking, which I think would also be... approval. I really like the response they gave to this one, though, I'm gonna be honest. I'm still hoping that that could be... Well, he is a good dancer is gonna seem way too superficial, so let's try he is hardworking. I've never met someone who works as hard as him. He works tirelessly for those he loves. Rod lets nothing stand in his way. He is stubborn, true, but his dedication is admirable. He inspires me every moment of every day. Aww, the First Lady sighs almost dreamily. Yours sounds like a match made in heaven. Truly, I am a little envious. I am very envious. My heart swells with pride. It is good to hear them say those words. It is also nice that these NPCs actually get to be nice people for once. It is proof that others really do see Rod as competent and, as he would put it, worthy. I am very lucky to have him in my life. Alright, fast forward. Thank you for the standing ovation. Later, the group of us stand by the palace gates for the final goodbye of the night. Well, it has been fun, but we ought to get back. We have lessons tomorrow. Waltz yawns. Pretty. I'm sure the students are going to be more energetic than both of us combined tomorrow. It was worth it though, right? You guys got the party. Me not really being a party person would not understand this, so I don't know why I'm saying that. Which is why we should be getting back. We're in charge of setting a good example. Delora faces us with a smile. But the sleeplessness will be worth it. I can't believe you proposed in front of all those people. Oh, Delora, stop teasing. Yeah, Delora. Parfait beams at us. We really are so happy for you both. Thank you. Rod looks away, embarrassed. Delora sidles closer to me. She leans close enough to whisper. I still remember the bossy princess turned maid I accompanied around the palace. You've grown so much since then. Oh, now I know how I wanted to explain the thing I was trying to say before. it almost feels like, yeah, Waltz is the canon ending, but Rod is the happy ending. Like, they all get a happy ending, but because nobody dies in Rod's, that everyone kind of came to a consensus. Everyone's getting along. The only thing that would have made it 100% say the happiest ending would have been if her and her father had started trying to mend the relationship sooner, which doesn't make sense as to why they waited in the first place, to be honest. Like, give her relationship that she had at the end of Chev's with her dad to Rod's route, and you have a perfect happy ending. That's it. Okay, so yeah, basically I see Rod's as the perfect happy ending, or the near perfect happy ending, just that one little detail. And even then, it kind of technically fixed itself because they do have a good relationship now. And Waltz as the canon, which makes them both equally important. And even though I technically do like Claude more than I like Rod, yeah, that's just how I kind of see it. But again, that's just me. It's my opinion. You can feel however you want about anybody. I'm proud of you, Lucette. Even teasing as they are, I can tell the words are sincere. Thank you for everything, Delora. We watch everyone walk back into the darkened town until we can see them no more. And then, it was nice to catch up with everyone, but is there a reason that Grumpy Kid wasn't there? I know who he means immediately. Oh, that's right. Senna. Senna, the heir to the Lucis? Rod shrugs. He received an invitation, same as everyone else. I shake my head with a sigh. He is very temperamental. I think I'm going to need to befriend him before he decides to grace us with his presence. Temperamental? Sounds like a certain princess I know. You? Rod scowls. Says the most temperamental, overdramatic prince in the world. Rod, you defend your lady! I am terribly offended. I cross my arms. Never mind, Senna. You and Lance will be staying with us for the next 2 days, correct? Claude nods. And to be honest, like, after playing Rod's route, I do feel like I like Rod more than Claude, but I won't know officially until after I play Claude's route, because in the originals, I still have a preference for Claude's, but I think it's also because I had a bias to begin with for the Beauty and the Beast theme and everything, so. And again, I do like flamboyant guys. I figure I may as well take a break from my duties while I can. You mean the duties you always run from? Must you insist on being so rude? I laugh. Regardless of why you're here, this will be nice for Emmeline too. She and Prince Lance can spend more time together. And what of me? Has no one missed my company? Before I can say anything snarky, I nudge him and speak for myself. No, it is good to have you here, Claude. Just don't expect us to spend that much time with you. I know. I suppose I'd just be unwanted company now that you two are engaged. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing at all. Unfortunately, it's hard to tell if this is still kind of in character for Claude or not, but he comes off as way more obnoxious than other people's routes so far. Like, I know why they do that in Chev's route, but so far in Rod's, he just kind of comes off as, again, more obnoxious than anything. So I'm looking forward to playing his next so that I can have more of a better feel, but I have a weird feeling that if I had played everyone else's routes before I got to his, I might not like him as much, to be honest. They just don't make him they don't make him the best in other people's routes. Claude tips his head. Tonight was fun, but it's getting late, so I shall excuse myself. Good night, darlings. Claude excuses himself with a little bow, and Rod and I return to the palace shortly after. And little moments like that where it's like, well, no one missed me. I guess I'd just be unwanted company. Yeah, those are little moments where he's somewhat similar to Chev, but Chev, I kind of feel like would have been a lot ruder about it. But that's just me. I kind of feel like he would have been like teasing them and really inappropriately until they finally got mad at him. Versus Claude actually knows when to stop and walk. Speaking of walking, Rod and I walk through the hallways hand in hand. Everything is quiet until Rod mumbles something beneath his breath. I look at him, curious. What was that? I just remembered something I was going to bring up earlier. Oh? I happened to overhear a conversation you were having with some noblewomen earlier. You were eavesdropping? Oopsie, and we're on the second option. Okay, so the second option was hardworking. The first option was the he's caring. So I guess this is where we find out Crap. Well, good thing I saved after the last one, so we can go straight to this after the other one. You were talking about me. I was really happy to hear you thought I was hardworking. That goes without saying. Still, it means a lot to hear you say it, because everything I do, you do for me. Yes, I know, and I will always be grateful. I don't see anything yet. There's no need for that. I do it because I want to. He leans forward to kiss my lips. I was just Okay, so hardworking was right. Whew. I thought that I had screwed up and I was going to have to, like, redouble again. Also, it's nice that they finally have another kiss, even if it's brief. I was really surprised it didn't, even though it was in a crowd. Well, no, it was in front of a crowd, so maybe not. Never mind. But, thank you, Lucette. We both pause as we come to my bedroom. Normally, this is when we part ways. Now, neither of us moves. I know it's late, but I'd like to spend some more time with you. He looked suddenly embarrassed or nervous. Why you being all embarrassed / nervous? Me too. Really? Perhaps we can take a stroll through the garden or... Really? I'm gonna actually end things here, but first I want to look at these options again. Stay with me tonight? What do you want to do? Oh no. So I'm gonna leave it right here. This is a perfect little cliffhanger. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, feel free to like it, and if you like me, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that lovely stuff, and I will see you yet again on the next installment of Cinderella Phenomenon, Evermore, Rod's Route. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, bye-bye.